In this game I just played, there was a moment where I was running bot with Mobies. They both had no summoners. I had my flash up, and I didn't go for them because they both had stopwatch. I would have killed them last season. I would have literally just killed both of them if stopwatch wasn't in the game, but it is, so that sucks.
Well, we're near the end of Day 4 of the 2018 Spring Split with coverage presented by OmniSlash, and I'm joined right now by Akaadian, who, after a couple losses to start off the split, has found a win. Akaadian, what's been going on behind the scenes? Because a lot of people I think who knew what was going to happen at the start, and unfortunately, you guys had a slow start. But how have things been going and progressing behind the scenes?
I think I've pretty much said the same thing in almost any interview since the start of the season. It's just been a ton of hard work and everyone trying to be as open as possible about improving, and that's basically how it is. I mean, it's not going to change from this week to the next week. It's just a bunch of hard work. That's it. Yeah. So.
And how do you get along with the rest of your Power Evil shaking his head at you as he walks by? How do you get along with the rest of your team? Because that looked very threatening.
Yeah, he's just mad that I'm giving a PR answer instead of trolling. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's not really that PR. It's but it's one of those typical we're gonna work hard. You know what I'm saying?
It's very PR.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say right now it's very PR.
Yeah.
But you've been. I mean, I think a lot of people were concerned that you guys were just gonna start tanking after the first couple of losses, but you were able to pull out the win. So what has been going on for you guys to sort of keep your head in the game? Because there's strangely, even though it's best of ones, people seem to be taking these first couple of losses very hard.
I mean, it's a saying that Tristan has. He just says he doesn't accept this. If he's gonna kill the other mid laner 1v1 or something, and the jungler comes, he'll just he would just try to kill the mid laner instead of backing up or something, and it'd be well, I just don't accept it that he's there. I'm just gonna go anyway or something like that. But I think we have that kind of mentality with having a losing season anyway. All of our players, for me personally, I literally just don't accept it. I'm not letting it happen again. I'm not gonna be bottom of the barrel again. I just can't. Yeah. I can't stomach that, I don't think. So I don't know. Even now, even after a win, it doesn't really feel that satisfying. It's just I just want to go home and play and scrim and stuff like that. So I don't know. I really, really, really want to be finally on a top team. I want to be a top player too. So I think that's what it takes.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's harder to do that this split? Because personally, I mean, I've been covering this stuff from the start, and it feels like this might be the most competitive split. It's just the amount of star powers, good players. All the rosters seem to be investing heavily in trying to make stuff work. So, what is it like to be battling out in this situation right now?
It's just like last year, man. I mean, every single year it's the same thing. Every single year it gets more and more and more competitive, and teams spend more and more money. It gets bigger and bigger. It's nothing new to have it be more competitive than the last year. I knew it was going to be more competitive than the last year before it even started. I knew from just talking to people and what plans were. I think it's just the same thing, and it really just comes down to the overall team mental fortitude and where our head's at and what everyone wants. Because at the end of the day, some people in the league, I think some people in the league are okay with being mediocre, and nobody on our team is, and everybody really wants to be better. And every day we just try to go to practice and work as hard as we can. So
yeah. Now, I do want to bring up, you have a good pal who unfortunately is not competing in the LCS at the moment, Moon. So, what do you think of his absence? Do you miss him? And, what's your general assessment of that situation?
I think Moon was one of those guys who, actually didn't a few North American junglers get pushed out?
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of players, just got pushed out of the LCS. They got their spots taken by either new NA players or more imports in their role or something like that. But I don't know, man. It's too bad. It's too bad for him that happened. That he's playing in Academy, but hopefully, I really haven't talked to him much because I think when the season starts, both, even if you're good friends outside of the season, both people just kind of start playing a bunch and don't really talk as much. But I hope he's still in a good space, mentally, and I still wish him all the best. And it looks like he's doing pretty well in Academy, and his team's doing all right, so that's good.
Yeah. What do you think of the current state of the meta? Very long games, and you've had to suffer through some pretty long ones.
Yeah, I can't really put I can't really say exactly what it is, but all I know is that time and time again, it just feels super bad to be playing jungle and be playing a tank, and your entire job is to like hopefully CC some guy and then die, but then maybe your team kills one carry before the other. I think it's really similar to the Worlds meta, actually, and I don't know how we ended up at a similar meta to the Worlds meta, because even Riot said that meta was terrible. So I think it's really awful. Like, you're seeing an LCK, you're seeing like 70, 80-minute games. There was a game, actually, where I think Jin Air beat SKT with, they had a Zir, and they lost all 3 inhibitors like 3 or 4 times. They lost Baron, Elder Dragon. The enemy team still couldn't push. I think that's completely like horrendous. You should just lose at that point. Yeah. There should be no way that you can you can control that at all. So I think it's pretty boring most of the time. I don't know. Like playing pro games is pretty boring. It's boring to play. I'm sure it's boring to watch. Obviously, there's like a lot of team play involved. There's a lot of warding involved, but it's not really that fun to like just walk around. Like, the optimal way to play the game is to just clear all the waves as fast as possible and like rotate around. And then if you rotate correctly, even if the enemy team crashes all their waves at the same time, takes Baron and Elder Dragon, they still can't end the game. I think that's insanely unfair and stupid. So,
do you have hope that we'll see a change for that in the next patch?
Maybe not the next patch, but I have full faith in Riot Games. You know, anytime they make a mistake, they always correct it in time. You know, they always change the game. We're in like, what, the 8th year, 9th year of Pro League. They have kept it fresh for 8-9 years. They're obviously a very professional team when it comes to making changes. Sometimes they make super whack changes that everyone is really questioning all the time, you know, very openly questioning on Twitter. But I'm sure they're gonna, you know, fix it, make it more fun. Hopefully, I'll have some more fun in the future.
Tough time indeed. For me, it was really tough to watch the Cloud9 game where they were so far ahead. They had like 15k gold lead, and it's just not ending. And it's hard to say. You know, I think who was I interviewing? I think Sven. Where, you know, part of the question is also it's the beginning of the split. So is it just that teams can't close these leads? How much of it is just everybody's getting back into the professional play, and how much of it is the meta? But it certainly feels like a lot of it is the meta. Everybody's blaming stopwatches. How do you feel about that?
I really don't like stopwatch in the game just as an item, as an ability. I think if it's in the game, it should be later usable. I think the fact that you can use stopwatch around the time when ultimates come online is just prevents, you know, plays. It increases baiting, makes like if I'm in a pro game, right, and their bot lane has no summoners and they're half health running away. Actually, they were half health running away in this game I just played. There was a moment where I was running bot with Mobies. They both had no summoners. I had my flash up, and I didn't go for them because they both had stopwatch. I would have killed them last season. I would have literally just killed both of them if stopwatch wasn't in the game, but it is, so that sucks. And as far as like the teams being bad, I think when you see a situation that we saw in LCK, right? Team had Baron and Elder Dragon crash all their waves at the correct time. Like, literally, you know, basically all you have to do is you just wait for your teammates to push, and then you push all the waves in at the same time. That's like the pinnacle. If you've hit that point as a team, that's pretty decent coordination, you know? Yeah. It's not like your team is bad. And if you still can't end after that, I think that's a meta problem.
Very good. Well, hopefully we do see some changes to address that stuff in the future. For you, is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there who are probably pretty happy with the Optic win today and looking to see the green wall rise even higher? I guess, I don't know if that's how the green wall works. I'm still learning out the physics of the green wall, but anything you want to say to any of those guys?
I think I just want to say thanks to those of you who, I know a few people reached out on Twitter and just said, like, you know, after every loss, everyone was just like, you know, it's going to go up at some point. You guys will get wins. You know, it was really close. We're still proud of you. Saying stuff like that actually means a lot, and makes me feel like I'm not it makes our team, everyone feel like, you know, you're not at the bottom of the world, I guess. So thanks for that, and thanks for all the support, and yeah, I don't know, I guess just thanks to everybody for participating. So,
well, thank you so much for the interview. Looking forward to see you return next week as well. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Brought to you by OmniSlash.
And me.
You can check out, nobody knows who you are.
Yet.
Okay. You can check out the rest of my coverage, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right here.